After several episodes of forgetfulness, I finally remember to rename the characters to my supporters. Paul shall be Wheelhouse, Jules shall be I'm Your Huckleberry, and Mila shall be Teddy Bear. This chapter's objective is to tie up some miscellaneous loose ends and construct the watermill power generators. Unfortunately, low construction skills continue to hinder Harriet's progress. As with the security traps at the beginning and the recent dining chairs, the inept builders prevent them from getting their projects started. Meanwhile, the colonists can stockpile the relevant resources and commit to a large deforestation project. As the group begins hacking away at the tropical canopy, they discover a fresh panther carcass. It will be returned to the kitchen, butchered, and grilled.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
The colonists take notice of the necessary machinery just south of the base. A mining operation is also scheduled to accompany the lumber aggregation. As the cooking bills are adjusted for the colony's increased consumption, a cassowary finds itself on the business end of a security trap. As the first day comes to its end, Huckleberry sets herself to mining the machinery, Teddy cooks the meat, Wheel puts the cassowary out of its misery, and Harriet snoozes. Harriet is up first, rearming a trap, when she becomes aware that Hypergig has caught coronavirus. Without hesitation, she treats his illness. At daybreak, everyone is rising and jumping on their tasks. Hours later, a Scurabar is fully healed and begins heading out. As one may recall, Scurabar is the survivor from a merchant caravan that defended Ark's Banning Salon from a unfortunate and totally unavoidable rhino attack. As hoped, Scurabar's safe return has drastically improved the damaged relations suffered by allowing a couple of the merchant's colonists to die in the aforementioned rhino stampede. Relations improved by a relieving 16 points, taking Pixie's dynasty from -9 to +7. Meanwhile, Teddy follows close behind to retrieve more fresh prey corpses from the deep jungle. Harriet is chopping wood, Wheel is hauling resources, and Huckleberry is caring for the prisoner. Soon after, a capybara from the northeast goes mad and rushes the base. At dusk, the colonists station themselves outside and open fire on the rabid creature. To celebrate their successful coordination, Wheel throws an outdoor party. The survivors playfully banter, frolic, and swim in a nearby pond. It's important to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. As the 10th comes to an end, the crew head to sleep. With Scurabar gone, the extra bed in Huckleberry's room is moved. Also, since Teddy is such a skilled agriculturalist, she fills the gaps in the fertile soil with heel root to square off the growing area, maximizing the use of that space. Once the layout is complete, a dedicated kitchen is planned in the center between the two fertile plots. By 0900 hours, Harriet and Huckleberry begin construction. Not only is this ultimately a necessary room to isolate, but it serves as a leveling activity for the builders, since they are in need of a couple points to develop the generators. At 1600 hours, the kitchen appliances and furniture are moved into their dedicated spaces. While Wheel hauls all the food supplies into the kitchen, Teddy gets to work sowing the heel root. Before the end of the 11th, one last building project is set to finally install lighting indoors so the darkness debuff can be negated. The following morning, some furniture and inventory is reorganized. As Wheel tidies up the interior, it's business as usual in the tropical rainforest. Teddy is sowing the heel root while Huckleberry and Harriet mine out the remainder of the machinery deposit by the southern pond. Around 1500 hours, the colonists begin running short on tasks, and this presents the perfect opportunity to level the construction skills. After the last rice crop is harvested and converted to a slower growing, higher yield, Harriet and Teddy can head out to deconstruct some ruins. The remaining 2 group members can haul and stockpile any building materials siphoned from said ruins. Before this task can be met, however, Harriet has an inspired creativity. She figured that, since she shares a normal bed, a chance at an excellent or masterwork would be a welcome change for 2. Unfortunately, she ends up creating the same quality, despite her creativity. Just before midnight, a shaman merchant from the Abanbavexa Union arrives in the vicinity. Just as Wheel rises from a full night's rest, he heads outside to barter. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, the merchant does not have anything of necessity on hand, especially now that we are growing our own medicine with the rescue of Teddy. He proceeds to do some scavenging in the dark, collecting fresh kills from the drenched jungle to the southeast. By 0500 hours, Harriet is harvesting the rice fields and converting it to corn, while Teddy butchers Wheel's scavenged meat. Huckleberry assists by extracting the rice to the kitchen, and Wheel trains Hypergig. At 1600 hours, the colonists return to the matter of getting electricity. They require construction training, so they commit themselves to disassembling any and all ruins in the area, starting with the largest one to the southwest. Harriet and Huckleberry prioritize the demolition, leaving Teddy and Wheel to haul materials to the outdoor stockpile. As 1900 hours rolls around, a mad tortoise targets the survivors and approaches from the northeast. It is a tortoise after all, thus it takes its sweet time in getting there. It lumbers over by 2200 hours, at which point the colonists form a firing line and blast the shelled intruder back into the world of Mario Kart.
Here we go!
Harriet is the first up, as usual. She heads to the small northeast ruin to dismantle the floors and furniture. Around 0600 hours, she returns to the base to wish her lover a good morning. While they bond over a short game of horseshoes, Wheel proposes, and Harriet accepts. Survival in the jungles of the Rimworld is looking less bleak for our protagonist. The small northeast ruin is cleared of material by 1000 hours, and the builders head southwest to finish the floor removal of the larger ruin that they started on the previous day. While monitoring their skills, the builders hear gunshots back at the base. Come to find out, as Wheel was checking in on the captive, Costa the prisoner went berserk. Wheel is forced to spray from the hip, and Costa, for the 4th or 5th time, survives a violently thwarted escape with no permanent damage. Randy is mysteriously determined to simultaneously get her out and keep her in. Costa's woes continue the following morning when her wounds become infected. Harriet is immediately roused from her sleep to tend to this ongoing disaster. By 1100 hours, Costa's room is cluttered with necessities and luxuries in the hopes that this will mitigate further malcontent. Minutes later, Harriet concludes the southwestern ruins' demolition. There lies another small ruin directly south of the base that is staged to be broken down next. Just as Harriet rises at 0400 hours, a group of burglars stalk the colony from the south. Six hours later, they decide to move in on the building. The colonists barricade themselves inside and wait for the attackers to step on their last mistakes. With half of the home invaders dropped, the remaining two cowards flee after setting some fires to the sprouting corn stalks. This attack was fortuitous, as it gave the builders reasons to repair and rebuild to train their construction skills. Later that night, a panther predates on some alpaca. This will be scavenged in the following chapter. In summary, survival continues in the tropical rainforest of the Rimworld with construction training. In the following episode, the colonists will undoubtedly reach their minimum construction skill and at long last install hydroelectric generators. Thank you for your interest and attention. As always, I hope you are healthy, safe, and fulfilled. I will see you in the next one. Teddy is sowing the heal root while Huckleberry and Harriet mine out the remainder of the machinery. Harriet is harvesting the rice fields and converting it to corn while Teddy butchers. By 0500 hours, Harriet is harvesting the rice fields and converting it to corn while Teddy butchers wheels. The